knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
That's right. It's auto repair with personal care with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto. I'm telling you, folks, some of the best conversations you never hear. And you won't.
Oh, boy.
Matt, how are you?
I was doing really good, and then we came in here.
Yeah, well.
And then we started talking.
Like I haven't heard that today numerous times. I had an email when I got here this morning, called me an ignorant bastard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right away, right off. I go, and it wasn't from my wife. I was surprised. I was surprised. So,
I bet you get a lot of that.
Every day. Every day. And I answer them all the same way. Thanks for listening. Send. And you know that aggravates them even more. You know it does, because they want to engage in an argument.
Right.
I don't have to engage in an argument. No. I have a microphone. I don't have to engage.
I've seen you you got this. See, he's got this board in front of him, and it's got these slides, and it changes volume. And I've watched him just slide it all the way to 0.
100%.
Fade. You heard the person just fade away.
Guess who's in charge? Me. It says on the show, Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Guess who that is?
That's
me. So, like here, if you looked at me during Sunrise Auto with Matt Gibbs and somebody on the radio and you gave me this nod and told me to give the nod to turn them down, guess what?
Bye-bye.
It says Sunrise Auto with Matt Gibbs.
See you later.
Deuces.
And no one can email me anything.
No. Any emails you want to send, tom@WOCA.com. I got thick skin. I quit worrying about what people wrote on Twitter and Facebook and all about me. When I first started in radio, it drove me crazy.
Oh, did it? You got offended?
Oh, wanting to go. If I see that son of a bitch out. But now, I just laugh it off. It's been 12 years now. 11 years, whatever. I have a friend of mine who, I won't mention his name, but he's very well known in the Gainesville, Ocala area that is in the same business. That they have to take his phone from him. So he can't monitor Twitter and Facebook and all when he's working.
Really?
Because he'll lose his mind.
Yeah.
And I've tried to work with him. I've given him, he's much more established in this business than I am. It's not Buddy Martin, by the way, but he's much more established than I am. But I try to give him pointers about and he just can't let it go. And it'll eat you up. I mean, if you ever went and I've seen your Google reviews. And most of them are stellar. But when you look, there's 5, 4. You do have some 1s on your Google review.
I do?
I think there's 3.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
And I went back, one of them was from like 2015, But I went back, there was one of them was mean-spirited about a brake job that didn't feel like they got done real well. It was 2015. And I go, well, I wonder if Matt's read this, but if he has, he's probably let it go water off a duck's back.
I remember reading one that I put an engine in crooked. There was
and it was a slant 6.
I put an engine in crooked. I'm like, okay.
I thought it went on the motor mount. So
I don't.
Even I'm not a mechanic. I don't know anything about fixing cars. But doesn't the motor sit on the motor mounts?
Yeah,
and so it can only sit in one way?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a mechanical illiterate, and I know that.
Yeah, it was.
You have the left side motor mount was attached to the right side front, and they crisscrossed or something?
I do know this. I've had a couple of them of reviews and stuff, but it wasn't. So they bought a car from like another place, and then the place is going to take care of the bill for the customers, but they only would let me do what
they
wanted me to
not
do,
what the customer wanted to do.
Right, and that tends to make for some hardships. But I don't check it.
No, your rating is like a 4.78 out of 5.
Yeah.
So you're you're not a 5.0, but I'm always I always am a little leery of if somebody's a 5.0, because then I'm like, hold on, if they're a 5.0, that means they're perfect.
Right.
I'm not perfect. The only human on the face of the earth that was ever perfect wasn't a human. He just took the form of a human,
right.
and that was Jesus Christ.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
Even Mary and Joseph weren't perfect.
That's right.
So if you got a perfect score, I have a tendency to think that there's maybe some shenanigans going on there.
Yeah, I don't get moved. That doesn't move me.
How important are those reviews now in this day and age to a business?
I don't really know, Tom. I mean, for some businesses, I think they that's what they thrive on.
Well, I think the millennials use the reviews a lot. That's my perception anyway. I'll give you a prime example. One of the top 100 Yelp restaurants in the entire state, number 33 on the list, is the little Korean restaurant that's in the Sunoco right there on 475.
Okay.
Just as you come out
okay.
off 441,
Yep.
that little Korean restaurant's in that little Sunoco.
Yeah.
It's one of the top restaurants in the state of Florida according to Yelp reviews. Number 33 on the Yelp review list. When I went in there 4 weeks ago, there may be 1 or 2 people in there. I drove by Saturday. Parking lot had like 15, 20 cars in there. I've never seen that many people in there, and nobody was getting gas. Everybody was in the gas station, so I had to figure they were in there because, this big newspaper article come out on how they were the only restaurant in the whole city of Ocala that's in the top 100 for Yelp is this Korean restaurant in a gas station. And so so a lot of people read that newspaper article, went and read the Yelp. I know people go, I didn't even know there was a Korean restaurant here until the Yelp told me. So I know a lot of people use Yelp and stuff that are under the age of 40. And they use Google reviews and all.
Right.
And new people that move to a town
Yeah.
use the reviews a lot.
Now, so in my shop, I did get connected with Carfax.
Right.
So anytime, when your car comes into the shop, anybody's car comes into the
So
shop.
Carfax knows I just got a new compressor.
Right, and so we're part of their service records, and therefore the customer would go on.
Oh, good.
Carfax.
So I don't have to keep my records anymore. They're on Carfax.
They're on Carfax.
Good see, that's another reason to use Sunrise Auto right there.
And the reason I did it was if you decide that it's time for you to trade in your car, you want to sell your car.
It's on the Carfax.
It's on the Carfax, and so you can actually prove that you've had all these services done. And on the flip side of it, you can you leave a review.
Right.
So I know I have a rating on Carfax because I know it's pretty good because they sent me a top repair shop
certificate plaque to put on the wall.
To put on the wall. So I know that but I just don't go in and
well,
manage.
the way I can prove that I just have my compressor now replaced is the air conditioning's cold.
Yeah, that. Yep.
In Florida, that works too.
That works too.
Good morning, you're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, Matt. This is Sonny calling.
Hey, Sonny.
I don't know. I'll never forget the time I came in there years ago with my little car, and I thought I needed brakes. And you turn around and you said, you don't need brakes. And I don't know what you did to the car, but it was working fine until eventually I did have to have brakes, and you let me know about it. And I can remember a lot of times coming into your establishment there, and you put the car on a computer and you ran a check on it and so on and so forth, and explained my problem. It seemed like the car was coasting, when you took your foot off the gas. It's just the nature of the car. They did that for pollution ratings or whatever. But you never charged me for a lot of stuff that I've been in and out of there for. It was like, a checkup. Another time, a company dealership loused up the oil change on me, and I thought they really screwed up the car. I came in there, and you put it up, and you wiped down a lot of the oil still dripping from my previous episode there with a dealer, and again, you didn't charge me for it, but you even used some of that degreasing spray, and that stuff costs money. But yet, like I said, I don't know how anybody could be not satisfied with your services.
There's crazy people in the
Anyway,
world
thanks-
everywhere,
thanks-
Sonny.
Thanks again, and have a great day.
Thank you.
There's crazy people in the world everywhere. That's how people
Now,
can be
I
unsatisfied.
do want to
with
say
it.
something, though. I'd like to say something. So I know people could be out there listening and say, well, yeah, he's going to do that for Sonny because Sonny calls every Tuesday at 10. But I don't do that just for Sonny. We do. I want to be helpful. We have to make money. We have to, I have to pay the electric bills and I have to pay my guys.
Right.
And I am a for-profit business.
Right.
But I'm also part of our community. And so when there's something like that, if I put a scanner on something, I might not go in there and do the diagnostics of it, but at least I'll take the time. We'll scan stuff. We'll tell you what code. We'll give you an idea. Hey, this code, it's an EVAP code. It's not that important. It's not going to keep you from running. If you want to bring it in and check it out, this is what we do. This is how we do it. But
You told me that about my Cadillac. I said,
Exactly.
I said, the StabiliTrack service light come on. You put it on the programmer, and then you told me, look, you're just going to have your brakes are going to be before 1990. You could fix this, and you'd have anti-lock and everything,
Right.
or you could drive it like this. It's not going to hurt how you drive. You're just not going to have technology. You're going to have before 1990
Right,
technology
right.
instead of after 1990.
Exactly.
But cars stopped fine
Right.
before 1990.
Right. And see, and there again, you're the host of the show. We do this together.
Yeah.
And people can say, well, yeah, of course he's going to do it on the radio.
Believe me, when I walk in, they put literally, Joey, his son, when I walk in, holds up a placard, and it says 2X whatever the money is. Every time I walk in. So, believe me. And Joey runs the place, so just ask him.
Yeah. He's pretty much in there. So,
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
morning, Hugh.
Say, when you disconnect the battery for, let's say, more than an hour or so, and you rehook it or a new one, do you have to? The car computer do you have to manually set that, or does that reset itself?
It won't. It's not resetting itself. What may happen is when you start the car, it may start up and stall. It may start up and stall. And so what you may have to do is do like an idle relearn procedure. That was kind of like that was kind of a few years ago. They've kind of we don't really have to deal with that too much on the newer cars. But if it's 10 years old or something like that, you may find that you have to do a relearn procedure. But it should be just put the battery in and go. Now sometimes on some cars you have to reset windows. There's a procedure like on BMWs, Mercedes, where you have to go through a whole procedure. Sometimes it even requires a scan tool. So it is getting more technical all the time. So it really depends on the year, the make, the model of the car. But for the most part, the best thing to do is if you have to replace a battery is go into the owner's manual and look up and see what the procedure is in the owner's manual to replace that battery. If there's anything crazy you need to do.
Like on my car, I can pull up. It says reset factory settings. If you press that thing, would that help any?
No, the factory settings is going to be like all the like your driver stuff, like how you want your mirrors to do, how you want certain features that your car has.
Your seats.
Yeah, your seats is a separate switch itself, but
yeah. So
when you go back to default stuff, that's the way it comes out of the factory, and then you've gone over and changed this and changed that, and so once you press that, now those features are going to go back to the way they were when you bought the vehicle, or when the vehicle was made.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks
All
for
right,
the call.
sir.
I with my car, Susan took it a couple Saturdays ago, right after the air conditioner got fixed. Susan took it a couple Saturdays ago to go to a flea market place, Brown's Produce out in Oxford, and she junk in the trunk, and she took a bunch of our junk and tried to sell it. A lot of junk came back, but regardless of that, she sat with the door open,
The back
lights,
hatch.
the back hatch, plus the radio, because as you know, right now I got a door switch issue that's not shutting the radio off. Anyway, battery dead. So AAA comes out. We got AAA. AAA comes out. The battery van got about 20 batteries in the van for. I have no idea what they cost. I didn't want to know. I'm sure they weren't cheap because AAA. So he puts the little thing. He goes, "No, your battery's good. It's just dead." So he got the little jump box, jumped off right away. He said the battery should be fine. Because he didn't charge it or anything and the car ran, he said your alternator's good, you know. But since then, it's the first, when you press the button, and then it catches and goes. Like could it have weakened the battery substantially?
Yep, sure could have. So now what you should do is now test it with a load on it and see how it.
And when you say test it with a load, what do you mean?
With an actual device, a Deltron, like a circuit tester for a battery.
So bring it by.
Bring it by. We can hook it up, and it may just be that it really needs to be charged, not the alternator. See, the alternator really it's supposed to sustain, not necessarily. It'll charge, but it's really not designed to charge.
Oh, so it's not. I always thought the alternator charged the battery back. It just sustains the battery.
It does charge the battery back, but if the battery's at a certain, like if you look at the health of the battery, and it's at this marginal error, and let's just.
I bought it 29 months ago, 30 months ago.
Okay, and the alternator is what, probably the one that came on the car when it was brand new?
No, I think Chris said that the alternator was replaced.
Okay. And
I think Buddy said because Buddy had this issue when he first got the car that it was killing batteries, and so they diagnosed it as the alternator. And because when Buddy first took possession of the car, the first couple of weeks it ran good and everything, but the battery kept dying. Okay. And then it was because the alternator wasn't good. So no, the alternator was replaced in 2015.
Okay.
So yeah.
And see, I wonder what the alternator, like typically if it's 100, let's just say it's a 100 amp alternator, is it capable of still putting out the 100 amps?
I don't know. That is all a question.
Right. And those are the things we just test everything. The alternator output, the health of the battery itself.
So we've come a long way from just taking the positive cable off, and if it runs, it's good. If it shuts off, it's dead.
Yeah.
Come a long way.
That still is a good indicator, though, because if the alternator is not charging, it's going to be dead.
As soon as you take the positive
It's off.
But we didn't even recharge this battery, and it cranked, and the car ran fine.
And see, like if that was a Chrysler product, man, you got to be real careful when you do that because the voltage regulator is internal in the PCM, and so a lot of times if your battery is dead, it's out of juice,
right,
and you jump it off and it fires up, well, that alternator should be at wide open throttle. It should, if it's a 100 amp alternator, it's putting out 100 amps, and then a lot of times that'll be if there's a weak spot in your computer, it'll take out a computer.
There's a weak spot in my computer.
Yeah,
we've established that.
We don't want that weak. We want it to stay weak. We don't want it to be a broke spot.
We've established that. Yeah. Good morning. You're on with Sunrise Auto's Matt Gibbs.
Sonny again. Matt, they used to make a thing that plugged in the cigarette lighter. You put a 9-volt battery in there, and you plug it in the cigarette lighter while you're changing your battery out.
Yeah.
That would keep all the settings that were there in the car.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's still a good thing or whether it's still used. I haven't seen one lately.
I use them all the time.
Hang up and listen.
I use it all the time.
Is it a 9-volt battery?
Yeah.
A little 9-volt.
Yep, just a little 9-volt battery.
Keeps the whole car going.
It keeps all your memory alive.
Oh, okay.
So all your radio stations.
Well, that's the thing. When the battery died, and she called me. I was on the golf course, and I had to go. The car was dead, wouldn't start. I mean, when you put the fob in, nothing.
It was dead.
Right. It took me 55 minutes to an hour to get to her. Then I was there a good 20 minutes before AAA showed up. So she had realized it was dead about an hour and a half before AAA got there. How long it had been dead, she doesn't know because she didn't know when the lights went out. She wasn't listening to the radio, right? So at least an hour and a half. When it jumped it off and everything, I turned the car on. Radio came on. All the stations were still there. Everything.
Well,
so
there is, and some cars actually have a battery backup already built into the car.
okay.
So that's probably what that is. Now on your Cadillac, I'm pretty sure.
Because the clock was the same, the date was the same, everything. Yeah. But a dead battery is one of those things that can be problematic. And once you weaken it, it's only gonna. And I read somewhere this weekend as I was doing research on it that because it's a little weakened battery, by doing that it puts extra strain on the alternator and on the starter.
Right.
Which in turn, it's kind of like the dam that's diked up. If you get one little hole in the dike, even though it's a little hole that's weakening, because it's a little hole, it weakens the whole structure. And is that pretty much what a weak battery can do? It puts strain on the starter, puts strain on the alternator, stuff like that.
And that's really where it doesn't really put strain on the alternator. It can cause the starter to have a little bit because there's not enough voltage and it
feels like it drags. When you press the button, it drags. It goes then it grabs.
Right, and that's because you're building compression in the engine and there's a bunch of things going on and there's not enough amperage going to the starter to do it. But as far as the alternator is just going to turn until it starts spinning.
Right.
But the issue with the alternator is once the engine's running, if that battery condition is in low voltage, low amperage state, then the alternator, it's relative. So the more your battery's charged, the less your alternator does. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as your battery's charging up, your alternator's coming down.
Right, because they work in concert with each other.
Right.
But if your battery stays down,
it's just
right,
going wide open throttle.
And that's no
bueno. That's not good.
It's no bueno.
No. So, do you know when the battery was ever changed, or?
Either you did it or the other guys did it like three. Because it's a 29, 30-month battery.
Okay.
It's a 36-month battery, and I bought it like 29, 30 months ago.
Well, it's okay.
So either you did it or they did it, but it's not an interstate battery, so I don't think.
Okay.
But what other batteries do you?
I love interstate batteries.
I know you,
but
they're hard to get.
They're hard to get.
Right.
So I use a professional grade battery through AutoZone, just because I know that there's 14,000 AutoZones all around the country.
I don't know if you put it in or the other place that I used to have work on my car put it in, but I know that it's getting within half a year of when they said it's going to not be good. Yeah. So we'll see. If it was one of yours, it's probably under warranty.
Yeah.
If it was somebody else's, it may or may not be.
Yeah, but it depends. I deal with everybody, so.
Right. So I'll bring it by.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Matt, where can they find you?
You can find me at 1800 Northwest 10th Street, or you can call me at 352-690-1993.
Matt Gibbs with Sunrise Auto. He's here every Tuesday. Matt, talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after this timeout on WOCA, The Source.
Casting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
With much of the country still in disbelief, Japan on Tuesday said farewell to Shinzo Abe, a political figure who dominated politics in that country as its longest-serving premier. He was gunned down at a campaign rally last week. Twitter's deal fiasco with Elon Musk has overshadowed its business challenges, which will likely intensify as growth in the advertising market decelerates and the company deals with the operational fallout. Annual inflation rate in the United States unexpectedly accelerated to 8.6% in May of 2022. Tomorrow we'll be getting the June report, and economists say hold on, as it's going to be worse. The last time the federal government allowed inflation to attack our wallets this bad was back in 1981. Thanks for listening. We are USA Radio News.
Are you prepared for more severe food shortages? It's likely that over the next year, serious food shortages will plague us. American farmers are dealing with insane diesel fuel prices and fertilizer shortages, which will lower crop yields. And that means your family's favorite foods will soon be in short supply while fetching sky-high prices. Inflation is the new normal, folks. It's time to act before things get even worse. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com without delay. You'll find ready-hour emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply that last up to 25 years in storage. Each kit provides over 2,000 calories a day to keep your energy up. Order your emergency food kits today by going to MyPatriotSupply.com. Your food ships fast and arrives in unmarked boxes. Listen, there are ways to beat food shortages. When you're ready for real preparedness, make sure to look for ready-hour foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com right now. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped. The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Nirvana Medical Spa is Ocala's premier medical spa, home to a variety of non-invasive corrective laser treatments and facials. Besides filler, neurotoxin, laser hair, we offer PRP, tattoo removal, body contouring, vaginal rejuvenation, urinary incontinence, and men's sexual health. Become a better, brighter, happier you at Nirvana Medical Spa.
Howdy folks, RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Right now, during the warm days of summer, that's the best time to plant a tree. And the place to find the best selection of trees has to be Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, where every day you buy one tree at Bob Wine's everyday low price, and you get another one just like it for half price. Now think of it, a large size 4 to 6 foot tree for just $39.99. You get another one for just $20. Now for less than $60 total, you've got 2 large-sized trees of your choice. Come on out this week and check the deals all over this 5.5-acre garden. Summer annuals, pick up a flat of 18 for just $19.99. Citrus bushes as low as $24.99. Citrus trees just $69.99. Don't miss their fabulous new section of yard and garden decor. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, keeping Ocala green and growing for 70 years.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.